metal promo review. I believe this is the first of 2022, if not the first, then the second. So, yeah, let's dive right in. Let's read some promos, decide how many ears we're going to give them. I'm here with Matt and Mike and Dave. So you got a perfect score for this would be 8 ears. I don't think a perfect score has ever happened. But,
yet.
Here we go. Out now. Expunged / Cruel Fate split, album?
Expunged.
Yeah.
It's a little weak.
Is it an album or is it a... it doesn't matter. It doesn't say. Artist. Expunged.
Already confusion sets in.
Alright, this is Expunged and Cruel Fate, and the release title is Expunged / Cruel Fate Split. Release date, December 24th, 2021. So it's out now.
So this is kind of like a Linkin Park Jay-Z collision course type album.
There's a few, like... I can't tell if that question is sincere or not.
Alright, format is CD, cassette, and digital. Genre is old school death metal. And country is our America's hat, Canada. Or are we Canada's shoe? For fans of Swede...
I think we're the shoe at this point.
For fans of... what? Alright. For fans of Swede, DM, I assume that's death metal, a la Carnage, Nirvana 2002, Dismember, Bolt Thrower, Grave, and Unleashed. Expunged comments, continuing the Expunged death machine. We have 5 new tracks of blistering old school death metal with Ed Nederkorn from Bloodfamy on the drums. The split...
Well, I'm gonna give Bloodfamy 2 ears, but I don't know about these guys.
This split release is with our neighbors from Cruel Fate. Together, we have a fierce onslaught of old school death metal from Canada. Cruel Fate comments, in the wake of our first album release and the height of the COVID lockdown, Cruel Fate forged ahead to write and record 4 tracks of death metal fury. Drums recording, guitar reamping, mixing and mastering done by Topon Das. Fuck the Facts. Apartment 2 recordings. Vocals, guitar, and bass tracking done by Cruel Fate's home studio. It's so wait, they reamped the guitars in an apartment, is what it sounds like. So I'm sure all the neighbors were happy about that. And the drums, for that matter. Alright, here's the track.
The second best place to record drums is an apartment, preferably on a top floor.
Right.
Yeah.
on
a hardwood floor.
I always preferred a cement basement. That's where it's at.
We've had good results with both.
Okay. Can I interrupt for a bit? I'm on Metal Archives, and I'm looking up Expunged. So for this split, Edwin Nederkorn, is on the drums, as you said. He's from the Netherlands, so I feel like calling them Canadian is a bit of a stretch. This is now like a multinational band. But JS is on bass and vocals, and if you click JS, it's Joe Capitalicide. Like capital CAPITALICIDE. Which is excellent. But let's see, the next member of the band, WD, if you click on that, that's Wolven Dead Soul. Dead Soul is one word.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
And I haven't looked at AK yet. AK is just billed as AK. And he's listed as drums.
He must be like a second set of drums, though.
There's 2 drummers listed on the lineup of Metal Archives for the split. AK and
This stands to reason, and in the long tradition of bands like, for example, the Grateful Dead, sometimes you need more than one drummer to get the job done.
Yes, that's true.
It's like the Slipknot situation. I always figured, Slipknot has like 80 drummers, and I always just figured they got better members, and then at some point they were like, I don't want to really kick out that guy.
You're demoted to tambourine.
It's the situation you get when you have 8 friends and several of them don't play instruments yet.
So they're like pity drummers?
Yes.
I mean, I say this, but I have to acknowledge that Slipknot has definitely put on one of the best shows I've ever seen in my entire life back in 2001 when they were melting faces and no one had ever seen anything like it.
No, it is entertaining show. So they're drummers.
back when you could do pyrotechnics inside the 930 Club, folks.
They did that in the 930 Club.
In 930.
Oh, no.
They had pyro set up on the PA. Well, it probably wasn't on the PAs.
Oh, God.
You know, their Slipknot's drummer, well, their original drummer died this year. Joey Jordison.
I heard the guy was...
He was a good drummer. Very good.
I know, he was amazing.
He was?
But
associated with
I had to do the
extreme
comedy
act.
threes.
He was He was in Satyricon for a year.
Yeah. He was amazing.
Right.
And that's why they demoted.
Frost had all those
That's why-
visa problems.
That's why they demoted the other guy to tambourine. Wait, wasn't he the original drummer? All right, that one didn't work.
The other guy was on. He started on Trash Can. Come on.
I play the left floor tom.
It's just one kit, each person assigned to a
Yes,
single.
Maybe that's what Mike Portnoy had in mind on the Black Clouds tour, because it was a drum kit and a half. Like, you couldn't play it from one position, so there were 2 thrones. Anyway, let's get back to this expunged
Who are we talking
Cruel
about?
Fate split.
Expunged.
The track list, starting with Expunge, is Plague Within a Plague, Nuclear Grave, Saviors, spelled the Canadian way, I might add, Saviors of Sickness, Condemned to Be, and One Last Breathe.
You had me until...
I assume that's a typo.
That's the Canadian spelling of breathe. Breath.
So
Cruel Fate.
I've been looking up the other band, Cruel Fate, and they're from Quebec. So if One Last Breathe was the Cruel Fate song, I would imagine it's something like A Ranger's Sucks, but that's just a typo.
No, that's
No. If you go on to Expunged's Bandcamp, it's One Last Breathe there too. What is?
no.
Are they also French, or what's going on there?
Nope, they're from Ottawa. They're from the most English place of Canada.
Yeah, but maybe Burning Shadows is from Baltimore, but none of us are from Baltimore. Maybe they're across the river.
But I imagine that's the capital that Joe is citing.
Maybe.
Okay.
Maybe not.
Aside from One Last Breathe, the rest of the names are actually pretty slick. Plague Within a Plague, Nuclear Grave, that's. I'm in for those.
All right.
Saviors of Sickness.
And then the Cruel Fate tracks are Mugitus, Abyss Inverted, Momentous Skies Are Born, and Subgates Fate.
An Abyss Averted is just a mountain.
Yeah, that's a mountain, all right.
I don't see a Bandcamp link, but it sounds like you found one. So,
Cruel Fate sounds like they're a little bit more established if you look them up.
then how come Expunged gets their songs first? Riddle me that.
It's because they're the Anglos, and the tragic history of discrimination in the Canadian culture against Francophones and the First People. I mean, it's pervasive. It's in everything, down to the billing of a split album by these two, stellar exemplars of 2021 old school death metal release.
Exactly.
They'll be speaking about this on the CBC later, I think.
All right.
I'd also just quickly, Expunged has another album called Into Never Shall. 3 words. Into Never Shall.
Shall.
So something is weird
Is never the noun? Like through the?
It is. It's just 3 words. No commas. Into.
No ellipses.
No.
So
where the hell's
marks?
Never shall?
Yeah, there you go. Into never shall. I just posted it in our chat. Into
good.
never shall.
all right, so how many ears is everyone going to give it? I'll go ahead and start. I'm going to give it 2 ears, 1 for Expunged, 1 for Cruel Fate.
Does that mean that you could give it a maximum of 4 ears for this release?
No.
Okay.
It's 1 promo.
I'll give. I won't say I'm not curious. I'll give 1.5 ears.
So, Cruel Fate sounds like they deserve a full ear. Expunged, and this is just a blatant prejudice on my part, but Expunged sounds like the name of a Disturbed cover band, so I can't really get behind that. So I'm going to give them a solid 1.5 ears.
For one, I'm not all that curious. I will give them 1 single ear.
Ooh.
Because they had the bold choice to add an E to breath, and they did it.
I would also like to note that I would say that Expunged logo looks a lot like, or it at least reminds me a lot of Entombed's logo.
Yeah.
I mean, not
first thought exactly.
Yeah, it's not exactly the same, but it's clearly reminiscent.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. We usually talk about the art. It's an executioner
Pretty good.
made of a skeleton about to standing on someone, I assume, about to behead them. And it's a black and white line drawing.
Yeah, it looks like everybody is already dead, so I'm not sure exactly.
Yeah, what's the point?
However, it is cool art. I actually quite like this art. It's pretty cool.
All right, you ready for the next one?
Yep.
KATTLIK is a death metal band.
2 ears. 2 ears. 2 ears.
Ow.
2 cat ears.
KATTLIK is a death metal band from Sweden and just released a new single, At Finna och Finnas.
Wait. How do you spell this?
Not like you think.
Like, hun, you know, like the religion? I married into it?
Oh, I'm a KATTLIK.
I grew up a Baptist, but then I met Mary Jo, and she's a Catholic from the Polish church, and so we've been going down there ever since then, hon.
You know, Maryland was founded as a colony for Catholic refugees.
That's true. You know, the most famous Catholic signer of the Declaration of Independence was John Carroll Carrollton.
All right, let me finish reading this before you comment. This one's short. It's KATTLIK. KATTLIK. KATTLIK is a powerful death metal band that blends Latin grooves with Swedish melancholy. Lyrics in Spanish, Swedish, or English give their own unique feel to each song, with a common thread of brutal primeval power. Lineup: Leonardo Gonzalez Morales on guitar and vocals, Emilio Gonzalez on bass, and Matthias Anderson on drums. And there's no Bandcamp link, so if we found it, it's in the description, as are all the links. So, and it's facebook.com/KATTLIK Metal. One word.
Wow.
2 ears straight up, and I'm not even joking at this point. Swedish death metal with melancholic themes and Latin grooves reminds me of the golden age of Opeth, and that's something I'd like to hear. I'm sold.
When I think groove, I think drummer, right? But the drummer's the only guy with the Swedish name. The others have...
That is worrying.
Yeah. The others are Morales and Gonzalez.
So it appears at least one of the Gonzaleses, and I'd like to think it's the one guy in the band photo that I'm looking at on Metal Archives is from Chile. And so if you look at the band, there's 2 Latin American looking fellows and 2 very Swedish looking fellows. And 3 people in the band are standing in this kind of heroic metalish pose, and one guy looks clearly cold, and I hope that's the Chilean guy.
They only listed 3 here, so I wonder what's going on over here.
Well, maybe it could just be their buddy in the band. There's one guy who's kind of standing slightly off to the side, so maybe that's their like friend who's like the number 1 KATTLIK in town.
Well, I can.
So you can go get their music at KATTLIK, KATTLIK.com, which is pretty easy to remember. But you can actually download their EP for free. Which is pretty. That's actually pretty cool.
Oh, that should be the headline.
Yeah.
I think the headline is their exceptionally traditional photographs that they've taken in a field, a forest, and on stage. Like they're nailing the aesthetic.
The guy in the picture that's not in the promo is Marcus Langestrom, and I doubt he's the one who looks cold in that photo.
Yeah, I don't think this gentleman is Marcus Langestrom. KATTLIK, also, I've been looking up the Swedish. It appears to mean catty or cattish. like kattlish. It's just like, it's like catty.
Literally cat-like.
I mean, can you say anything about this except 2 ears?
If you go on their website, they have their EP art. And it's kind of like the central image, and there's a little paw print up at the top left. So I guess it's
my god!
And the best thing is that underneath it just says "KATTLIK welcomes you," and I think that's just so homey.
This is adorable.
I actually am very interested in this. Like, it's interesting. There's a lot going on here.
On their Instagram, there's a picture of at least one guy in the band hanging out with a creepy naked Manx cat.
I mean, aren't all cats naked?
No, like furless.
No,
like skin cat.
Hey, hold up.
My cat also wears a Capitals bandana.
Oh, he's all right. He's got some fur.
A cat pedals bandana.
I do.
Nice.
Man.
All right.
Yeah.
So Dave with 2 ears. I will. I'll give him 1.5.
I'll do 2. I mean,
that's the biggest injustice I've ever heard.
And Mike was 2. And how many are you, Matt?
Oh my god! If anything deserves 2, it's KATTLIK.
All right. Well. We'll see if the next one dethrones it.
They have an Instagram update. I'm finally free for the rest of the year. Today was a really meaningless day. And yesterday was basically as worthless.
Oh my god.
Doug has joined us. Or is in the process of joining us.
I gotta step away for... Wow. Cool shirt, Doug. I gotta step away for a second. I'll be right back.
They play floorball. What is floorball? They play it.
All right, last one. WHALEDOG released new single, Leave Me Alone.
Holy shit. KATTLIK has been dethroned.
These guys are hard rock from Sweden. It's only available digitals for fans of AC/DC and Foo Fighters. WHALEDOG.
What?
You heard me. WHALEDOG released the first single, No Go Zone, on the 5th of November 2021. Now they are already following up with their next single, Leave Me Alone, which will be released on the 29th of December. So this is out by now. The new song is another strong rock tune, but this time with a slightly more progressive touch. The production, instrumentation, and arrangements invite you to something new and thrilling. To some new and thrilling soundscapes. If you like the first single, you will not be disappointed. Recorded in the band members' different studios during the fall of 2021, the lineup is... Oh, man. All right. I'm gonna I'm going to go ahead and read this lineup. Ole Brimo on lead vocals and guitar, Ulf Hedden on guitar and vocals, Robin Virencio on keyboards and vocals, Samuel Lexberg on bass and vocals, and Mikhail Kerslow on drums. And no Bandcamp link, so we will, as usual, it'll be in the description. It's Facebook/WhaleDog Band.
And whaledog.se.
Yes.
Is it spelled like the two animals?
Yes.
Here's the artwork.
Wow.
It's the band promo photo with their logo over them is basically the artwork. Well, this is the band promo photo because this is a single. So,
I mean, I do appreciate that all the members of Whale Dog look like me wearing various disguises. So, I mean, that's major points there.
Once you said hard rock, this made a lot more sense to me because with a name like Whale Dog, it seems like that works for a hard rock type aesthetic. Like, we don't really care about. I feel like with metal, it's all like, oh, it's elegant and regal, and we have to sound like super oppressive. With this, it's just like, nah, it's like a punch in the face sort of thing. It's like Whale Dog is an appropriate name for this. I won't say I'm not curious. There's definitely something interesting here.
They have an Instagram, but they have no Instagram posts, which I am not a fan of.
I think that's the appropriate way to use Instagram, actually.
No.
Which is only one step behind not having an Instagram.
I mean, if you're going to do that, don't have an Instagram. You need to dish up the hot content that KATTLIK was giving us.
See, I'd call that metal, but not hard rock.
Not having a having an Instagram,
creating
with no
an account, inviting people to it, and then giving them nothing. That's pretty metal.
That is metal.
That is pretty metal.
That's okay. Good point.
If it's hard rock, it's just neglect. If it's metal, it's not
purposeful. It's just we got nothing to post.
Well, I'll give
the difference between. Sorry, it's like the difference between drinking yourself to death at a hard rock show, because that's alcoholism. But if you do it at a black metal show, that's nihilism.
Yeah,
we believe in nothing. So I will give them one ear because I want to know how they tied together AC/DC and Foo Fighters. So.
Okay. I like the name. All the gentlemen in the band are quite handsome, but that's not enough to carry things. So I'm going to give them one ear as well.
Say one ear. Like, I'm interested. I'm curious, but not that much.
I'll give one ear, and I exercise my right not to justify that.
As is tradition. I'd give them an ear and a half. I found that I actually really do like the kind of modern 70s backwards looking Swedish rock scene, because they always have this like really pleasant tinge of country to it. Because one thing that not a lot of people know is that there's a very large rural population of Swedes, and they are more like Americans than we would really like to admit. I mean, there's a lot of truck and twang cowboy culture in northern Sweden. So yeah, I'm with it.
They are better at being Americans than Americans are when it comes to 50s, 60s, 70s country rock, rockabilly.
It's
country
good
western
stuff, man.
Yeah.
If I can take this on a quick tangent, there was Culture Week was happening at IKEA, and I wanted to put together a lunchroom playlist, which I did. of Swedish music. And it was, as you might have expected, heavy on the metal end, but also there was a smattering of Swedish pop, hip hop. There's a fairly big, like, reggaeton scene in Sweden, apparently, that I had nothing, like, no prior knowledge about. But there's tons of country music as well, and a lot of it's really good.
Did everyone go? I lost track.
I went last.
All right. Well, yeah, links in the description, and thank you for joining us, I guess.
Yes.
Goodbye.
Yes, indeed. Is the Pope Catholic?